Hey everybody, Jay Glazer giving you another Facebook Live update. It is a early Thursday morning. We're trying the morning routine. Hopefully you guys are gearing up for the weekend and you're already pretty bored at work for the week. So you're like, let me check in on Facebook and see what's happening. And you're joining us live for our latest rendition of the Facebook Live update. Start with our always do, have, need, know. What do we have right now? We have a couple properties listed for sale. They're really great properties. They look good. They're accessible. They're ready to be purchased for all you buyers out there. One of them is on 78th and Madison with partial Central Park views, beautiful condition, can be sold furnished. Really interesting opportunity there. And that is listed for just under $3.5 million. And we also have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath on Madison Avenue a little further down in Nomad. And that apartment is a great starter 2-bedroom. So if you're kind of looking to go from renting to a little bit more of a robust apartment, call us for details on that and we happily share them with you. What do we need? Well, the market is really interesting in Manhattan, so I'm going to go a little bit atypical right now, and I'm going to say what we need is some product in Brooklyn. So for all my buyers, or I should say my owners out there in Brooklyn, if you are considering selling or you just want a market valuation, the market in Brooklyn is still very, 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 very healthy. So if you're considering selling and you live in Brooklyn, give us a shout. I used to live in Brooklyn. I know it's my dirty little secret. And so we do sell a lot of property in Brooklyn. Don't forget that that is a big part of our business. In fact, 2 of our 4 team members are native Brooklynites and live in Brooklyn now. How much more authentic can it get than that? It cannot. And what do we know? We know that the market is constantly in flux. I have talked about this now a million times. So what can we do to ensure that we are optimizing the sales of our homes? Staging, and that is today's topic of discussion. So I'm going to give you 5 quick tips that you must employ if you're going to sell your home. Some of them you can do on your own, some of them you might want to hire a professional, some of them you might want to use your broker to help you. We do a lot of staging on our team. We actually have a closet right in front of me that is filled with staging items, top to bottom, from silk plants to pillows to sheets to lighting, anything, everything. So a lot of options out there for you for staging, whether you do it yourself, as I said, or whether you go top scale and hire a professional. So let me just give you those quick tips. First of all, get rid of clutter. Clutter is key, right? Clutter is the thing that everybody walks in and it just makes you uncomfortable. So in addition to just getting rid of the clutter for the open house or for preparing, the reality is you want to just get rid of it, period. It's not that clutter is itself the biggest issue in a home. It's just that it creates a sense of chaos and a sense of dirtiness and messiness, and that makes you think that there's something wrong with the property. The mind immediately leads to the most negative place. It's kind of a flight or fight type of thing. You know, you see something you don't like and you want to flight, you want to leave. So get rid of the clutter, and quite frankly, even if you never sold your home and you got rid of clutter, you'd probably feel better anyway. So just do it. Then rearrange the furniture. At the end of the day, a lot of times people think they have to buy stuff and they have to kind of go all out and they have to put all these things in the home just to make it better. A lot of people just need some feng shui adjustments, right? They just need to get rid of that big bulky couch in the corner, flip it around and move it into the living room. I myself, when I sold my home in Park Slope recently, just kind of adjusted the furniture a little bit to make it feel more open and spacious, and that helped me sell the home, besides amazing brokering, of course, but also, just changing, rearranging the furniture. The other thing is to depersonalize the space. So get rid of the 18,000 family photos you have on your mantle or on some table somewhere. It's kind of crazy. We're all obsessed with Instagram, Facebook, and digital photos, and yet somehow we still all have gazillion photos of ourselves. It doesn't make any sense. So just get rid of them because they're already on your phone anyway. The reality is buyers don't want to come into an apartment that feels like somebody else's home. They want to envision themselves living in the space, and the best way to do that is to not see you in the home that they're about to purchase. So depersonalize the space, make it very neutral. That doesn't mean it has to look like an insane asylum and be completely sterile, but at the end of the day, you want it to make it feel like it's an inviting atmosphere, but not necessarily one that feels like somebody else's atmosphere. They should feel as if it's their future atmosphere. Now, there are moments when, on the 4th tip, you want to add in some design elements. At the end of the day, the Jennifer Convertibles couches of the world, no disrespect to those of you who own those out there, do not create an atmosphere of luxury and sexiness. So if you have to add design elements, as I said, some silk flowers, some pops of color, some sexier sheets, something that's a little bit more attractive to the naked eye, then do it, because at the end of the day, a small investment in adding pieces here and there to make the entire experience better is worth it than having your home linger on the market because it just doesn't look good, right? And the design elements are also really good for the photography. We always get really focused on the in-person visit, but at the end of the day, by creating a really great setup for the lens when you're shooting your real estate photography, you can ultimately attract more people on that first viewing, which is the online viewing. People are not going to come to a home that doesn't look good online. So adding design elements really gives you optionality to play around with when you're laying out the framing of your photography. So factor that in. And then the last one is not a physical necessarily adjustment to the property. It's actually just to make the apartment smell nice, right? Make the home smell a little bit better, a nice olfactory experience, if you will. What happens is we have 5 senses. I mean, I have 6 senses, but most people have 5 senses. And ultimately, we get really focused on this sense. Brokers like to use this sense, which is talking too much. But anyway, the reality is smell is very important. I myself get really, really drawn to nostalgia and memories when a scent comes up, like the fall air. Everybody always talks about the crisp fall air. That brings up so many memories for those of us who went to college or grad school where everything starts in the fall. And so, sorry for that, when the fall hits. So if you have a cat or a dog or it smells a little funky in the home, open some windows, air it out, and get a scented candle. I'm in my office right now, and I actually have a candle that's lit. This is a diptyque candle. This thing costs like $700,000 for like 1 ounce candle. It's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, it's nice to walk into an atmosphere that smells nice, that's inviting. So don't forget to hit on some of these other senses, the sense of smell especially. So those are my 5 tips. Let me know if you have any other tips you'd like to share. Let me know if you think these tips are good. Let me know if you'd like us to give you even more tips, because I have probably 5 others that I haven't shared. And ultimately, just engage with us on Facebook. Have a great rest of your week. I myself am off to Montreal for a little fun in the cold sun. Not really accurate, but anyway. Have a great weekend and speak to you next week.